AskReddit by AskReddit moderators. I can't breathe. Black Lives Matter. I'm really starting to think 2020 is now officially a year worthy of history books. Oh boy, it'll definitely be a year to remember. Regardless of your stance, political or otherwise, I think we can all agree that something needs to change within the laws. Police should face the exact same punishments and liabilities like every normal citizen should. We need an end goal. It's not enough to say we want change. We need specific demands that until met the protests won't stop. I just don't know how we come up with that. Deleted. Today I flipped back and forth between CNN and Fox News. Was interesting to see how the broadcasting was so opposite to each other. I am definitely against police brutality and racism. The riots and looting aren't helping, but I get why it's happening. Try to be safe, everyone. I follow both stories. It's definitely something on what they choose to report over the other to accommodate to their viewers. I just have to say I've seen some very negative things about the whole situation on some different subreddits, even my own city subreddit, which I thought would be fully supportive. Turns out they are the complete opposite. But there's been a whole lot of love, caring, and support coming from most subreddits, and I truly appreciate it. It means the world, honestly. What helped me was to focus on what happens during the day, which is much less reported on shown on Reddit. Minnesota's true colors come out during the day. I've read so many comments about how many people thought of Minnesota as being progressive, and nice. For a few days I agreed, I couldn't comprehend what was going on. But I found the positivity of this state has outweighed the negativity by a long shot. Even on Reddit. There has been so much brigading on our subreddits that it is ridiculous. Especially at night when most Minnesotans are sleeping. But there has been so much generosity during the day in Minnesota, it gives me hope. From the food donations to the amount of people willing to drive down there and just help clean up the mess from rioters. After a week of this, I've just found I need to focus on the positivity. I really wish I could go to one of these protests. We all agree that an innocent man never deserved to die, and we all can agree that we need change. It feels frustrating to not be able to stand out in the open with others right now, but there are plenty more of us supporting the cause, even if it has to be from home. To anyone who plans to go out and protest, please remember to wear a mask, not only because of the virus but also to help protect you from inhaling tear gas, and some form of eye protection. Swim or ski goggles are ideal, but sunglasses will also work, to keep you safe from pepper spray. Don't be afraid to defend yourself if worst comes to worst. Safety goggles. Rubber bullets can literally shoot your eye out. As a black man, seriously, this comment section is exactly why I'm away from social media these days. I'm deeply hurt by what you're saying, and before you post SMTH, remember there are actual human beings with feelings reading your comments. Edit: a lot of amazing people commented. I wanna say thank you so much for being an ally, and thank you for helping me with your kind words, and Kid Stranger, thank you for the gold. Don't let it get to you, bro, and affect your mental well-being. Stay strong and keep fighting. I would urge everyone who's bringing up the looting of businesses, small or large, to attend a protest in their city if they can. I'm from Louisville, KY, and I've been to a few so far. Everyone I've seen has been peaceful and powerful. Looters and vandals have been separate groups who are using this chaos to profit. Or go to protests to protect those small businesses like some protesters are doing. If you're reading this and new, turn back now. You'll probably let some idiot ruin your night by pissing you off if you don't. Don't say I didn't warn you. Should have listened. This is sorting by new and the comments are weirdly super racist. WTF is this? They're anonymous, just coming out of the woodwork to complain. Just report them and move on. Puts on hazmat suit. Sorts by controversial. It's bad lol. Deleted. I saw a US Army vet in a thread the other day advocating for something similar to the court-martial system, but for police nationwide. Their reasoning was that if the entire military can be held to a standard abroad, surely the police can domestically too. Edit. I just found this down thread. https://reddit.com/r/gvj989/I_cant_breathe_black_lives_matter/f_1tj/ Just remember the vast majority of protesters are peaceful and not looting. Looters opposes taking advantage. One team, one fight. These comments are a hellhole. I didn't even have to look in controversial. I looked in goddamn new and found racist comments. The most evil outcome of this situation is this whole thing becoming a partisan thing. This should be the people making change, not Democrats vs Republicans. It's sad to see as many people against the protests, not just the rioting, as there are. Hello. We thank everyone who contributed positively to this effort. We remain dedicated to racial equality and opposition to hatred, and this shall continue to be reflected in our enforcement of the rules. Black Lives Matter. Sending my love to the peaceful protesters and to all those who have lost someone to police brutality today and every day onwards. I love all the protests and support. However, I'm just tired of people thinking if I don't post on social media 24/7 or don't agree with destroying businesses and beating people up, I'm against the protests. This is going to hurt our country very bad in the long run, maybe for better or worse, honestly I don't know. Anyway, still support the protest of how bad militarized police, and little talked about how much for-profit jails have ruined our country. That video just made me sick to my stomach. How can the people who are supposed to protect us be allowed to do something like that? I understand that they were reprimanded, but who could stop them while it was happening? You could see numerous people coming up and telling the cops to stop, but they were just told to go away. I'm willing to bet that anyone who intervened would have been charged with obstruction of justice. On top of that, there was not a moment that he was shown resisting. I still don't condone the riots. I still don't think cops are evil. I still genuinely think most cops are people that want to do good. I do think that there's some sort of power fantasy that lures some truly evil people to the job or warps otherwise good people into monsters. This just flipped my view on police brutality on its head. You don't get your buddies to sit on a guy with your knee on H. Jesus, this comment section is a dumpster fire, endemic of the issues with a failing country. To all the people saying all lives matter. No one's saying other people's lives don't matter. That's not the point. If someone's house was on fire, would you say, all houses matter, and make the firefighters go to all other houses before getting to the house that was on fire? No. You'd say, right now, that house is on fire and they need help. Because right now they matter. That's what Black Lives Matter is about. Let's all stop racism, it's fucked up no matter your skin color. I really think the issue is with the power complex that police officers tend to have. Both white and black. Once you resist, or do anything that indicates, to them, that makes them think you are a threat in any way, shape or form, it's more or less on sight at that point. I don't live in the US, but please stay protected everyone, we don't want to spread corona. Jesus fuck, there are a lot of racist assholes here. To everyone going out and protesting tonight, good luck and please stay safe. Since you've officially made a mod post about this, could you make a general civil unrest mega thread for a few weeks until this issue gets resolved? You might not see this message, but sincerely, thank you for the work you do. I can't march or anything since I'm not American, so all I can do is say good luck and I hope things change out there. Stay safe, y'all. Okay, here is something we all need to realize: it's not blacks vs whites, it's racists vs everybody. I can admit that I have lived such a privileged life, but I still think those who aren't fortunate enough need their voices to be heard. Seriously, WTF is wrong with so many of the people on this thread? Why do they feel the need to say such nasty things? I'm white AF and right now I'm absolutely disgusted to have anything in common with these racist morons. These comments are nauseating and they make the rest of us who happen to be white that actually are listening and actually do care look awful. I'm so sick and tired of it. I can't even imagine how actual minorities feel reading this crap. There are no words. Downright nasty, hateful people. Makes me so sad. I'm glad there are moderators on this site so I don't have to scroll through this kind of BS every day. I didn't realize how rampant this kind of thinking was on here until I read these comments. I can't even. It really isn't easy being on Reddit during these times, but I am happy to see more and more of the big and popular subreddits showing support for criminal justice reform and justice for George Floyd and the many others who have been a victim of police brutality. Black Lives Matter. We need as much support as we can. Thank you. IDKY, it automatically put me in new, but to anyone who sees this, don't read in new blatant racism and, I hope, trolls. Thank you for making this decision. There has been much conflict in the comments, and I want to say a few things. If no one stands up, then no one can follow. Everyone must take a stand against violence, oppression, and racism. I think the moderators are making the right decision. We were born with voices, and we must use them, no matter what our situation, status, job, etc. is. AskReddit may be a community where people ask questions and receive answers, but that doesn't free it from being a part of the world we are in. A world of racism, pride, violence, and hatred. To the people saying AskReddit is just AskReddit and not a place for a political stand like this, George Floyd was an innocent shopper who could only cry for help as he was slowly killed by a racist police officer. Once again, thank you moderators of AskReddit for taking a stand against the hate-filled world we belong to. I support your decision. And to all those reading this, I encourage you to spread the word of anti-racism and fight against the hatred of our modern world. Corona is about to get a promotion in 2 weeks. How many more decades will we have to fight this same fight? Will we have to just wait until a few stubborn generations pass? Is there ever a reality where racism becomes looked down upon and isn't taught to younger generations? Those are the same questions I ask myself every time I read another story like George Floyd's. I ask them legitimately. I'm devastated that our nation is in such chaos. We have so much potential. We have been fighting this for so long and still, unexplainably deep-seated racism exists. It's not a generational issue. Old people dying off won't fix this. WTF is wrong with this comment thread? Black people not wanting to get shot triggers a lot of idiots. I mean, I guess I've seen every now and then how toxic this sub can be, but this comment section really is bringing it all out of the woodworks. Yes, we understand all lives matter. No one is saying they don't or that black lives are more important. We are saying black lives matter too, because they are the ones currently in danger and who have been institutionally and systematically suppressed. If your reason for saying all lives matter is as a response to BLM, you don't care about all lives. You're just throwing a tantrum. I'm out of here. Police need accountability, that's it. Whether it's from their own co-workers or a separate independent entity. I should feel safe when I encounter a police officer, not threatened. Of course, black people aren't the only lives that matter. That being said, saying that all lives matter at a time when black lives are threatened every day from our very own police is ignorant and racist. This is the equivalent of going to an event for breast cancer and saying something like all diseases matter. It takes away from the issue at hand, which right now is that innocent black people are being killed by police for no reason other than the systemic racism that has been ruling our country for too long. If your lives mattered crew truly believed that, then you'd be upset too. I mean, aren't black lives included in all lives matter? Police brutality is a real thing, and I'm seeing more and more being exposed with social media. I've never seen this many protests around the world at once, and as a black man it warms my heart that people are finally paying attention, and it shows who really cares. Yes, the riots and looting sucks, but that stuff can be replaced, not lives. So thank you all who are doing your part. Is Reddit going to donate any of its own money? It's sad to see the world become this. He didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve anything. I really wish the world gets better. Thank you for this, Black Lives Matter. Of course all lives matter, but right now, Black Lives Matter have shown to matter less to America, which is why the slogan Black Lives Matter originated. It is simply a desire to have black lives to matter as equally as any other races live. Why is it so hard for some people to understand that people who are protesting aren't the same people who are looting? Protests are the avenue to the riots. People can see the difference, but when people are endorsing the riots along with the protests, that is when people are angry. I think it's important to remember a few things. There will always be people on both sides of a fight who will take advantage of the chaos to get in a few licks. We're seeing this on both sides. Police are using this to justify their violence, and looters are doing the same. I believe that a majority march for peace and equality. Be kind to each other. Try to understand each other's differences and hardships. Deleted. If anyone reading this is going to protest, stay safe. I wish for the protests to stay peaceful and civilized. Please be peaceful. Today my brother said that racism isn't a thing because we already had a black president, said fuck black people, said black people are more racist than white people, and he only participated in the Blackout Tuesday so people don't think he's racist. When I told him that kind of thinking and attitude is part of the problem and that he's being racist, he denied it. How do I prevent my head from exploding? I'm sorry, that's really tough. Thanks for challenging him on it and being a voice in letting him know that the way he's approaching this is not okay.